When it comes to building hand and wrist strength, there are lots of different things that we can do. Here are a couple of ideas. First of all, this is called a TheraBand Flex Bar. There's some different options like this. They come in different strengths. So with this, we can do some different wrist exercises and forearm exercises, which can be found in a different video. But this is also pliable, and so we can twist it and bend it and do all kinds of different things. So this can be a nice way to work on some grip strength and wrist and forearm motion and that kind of thing. So something like this can be a nice option. To really work on the hand more specifically though, we're going to use resistance putty. They come in different strengths. It's essentially like silly putty. You want to make sure, if you have a latex allergy or anything like that with some of these different things, they may contain latex. So double check that before you purchase it. But what we're going to do first is we have to warm up the putty. When it's just sitting in the container, it gets really stiff and difficult to work with. So at first, I'm just going to work on warming it up. Mine is also a little dried out at this point, so it doesn't behave quite the same, but you'll get the idea of what we're wanting to work on. With all of this, these are just some suggestions of what you can do, but there are lots of different things that you can try that can all be effective for you. So what we're going to do first, now that this is a little bit warmed up, we can work on twisting. I can choose to let my elbows be free and let even all the way up to the shoulder work. I can keep my elbows down, so now it's more forearm. Or I can even try keeping this part of my arm a little bit more quiet and try getting as much through the wrist in that motion as I can. I also want to make sure that I'm working in both directions of that twist because it's working different muscles if I'm coming under versus going up. I can also take this, and much like some of the wrist and forearm exercises that you saw in the other video, we can do things like pulling up so that my wrist is going this direction. I can pull back of hand up, palm towards me, or angling out to the side. To get into the hand a little bit more here, we can work on different types of pinches. So here, I can work on pinching between my 2 fingers and thumb. This is called a pincer grip. I can just pinch. I can pinch and twist. I can do, it's called a key grip, so it's like you're holding a key for the door. So I can pinch in that direction and do twisting or just gripping and that sort of thing. I can get this out into more of a long snake and wrap it around my whole hand around the fingers to work on spreading. Or another option, let me get this going. I can thread it through my fingers and work on spreading and squeezing. Just working on squeezing the putty in different ways and thinking of squeezing individual fingers or my thumb. So really, we have a lot of different things that we can potentially do with resistance putty to work different muscles and get some good motion in our fingers, hand, and into our wrist and forearm, even incorporating some elbow and shoulder ideas in there too. But give some of these a try, see what feels comfortable, only do what you feel like is comfortable and that you have control of, and be really mindful. Particularly if you're somebody who has hypermobility in any of your joints, or if you've been diagnosed with a hypermobility syndrome or disorder, be really aware of how you're using your hands and wrists, not working into any of that hyperflexibility. So for example, if when you're pinching, you tend to really let that finger hyperextend, try not to grip that way, but really curve that finger so that we're pressing down a little bit differently. Or with the thumb, if you tend to grip like that with your thumb, try to keep a little bit of a curve in that thumb joint as you go to pinch that putty. All of that will help train your muscles to function more in those positions and not function so much in hyperflexible positions, therefore protecting your joints a little bit more as you're doing other activities.